Hi, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snowell. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions. I would travel the world for past, present, and future stars. And coming to you live from North Carolina, and we have a special guest today, Lavisas Red Williams, man. Welcome into the World Boxing Review, champ. How you doing today?
Lavias, Red Williams.
Levias. Levias Red Williams. I'm sorry about that, brother.
And then you got
Yeah, how you feeling up there? Is it cold? Is it warming up there? I,
up here in Rochester, man. It's the different weather, man. You have your snow, you have your rain, your sunshine. Today is a beautiful day. The sun is shining out today.
well, the sun's shining out because you're on the World Boxing Review radio show. You're
Yes, sir.
you're in training camp, getting ready for your up and coming bout on April 25th at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be live on pay-per-view Triller and light streaming platform. And this stadium, man, is they redone it, and it has 11,000 seats in it. To my understanding, y'all done sold around about 80% of the 11,000 tickets. So, man, this is going to be big. How you feeling about it?
Well, man, it's an honor to even be fighting at this at the Blue Cross. You know what I mean? It was one of my dreams as a little kid to fight at the Blue Cross, and to hear that 80% of the tickets has been sold, that's tremendous right there. That's overwhelming for me. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a great crowd. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be putting on a great performance. And it's like history. You know what I mean? History in the making. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yes, it is, man. It's history in the making, man. But Red, let's for people who know you, uh, we're going to be giving them some information about that fight a little later. But for
okay.
the people that are not familiar with you and not familiar who you are, let's dive in about who you are. Okay. So, Red Williams, how did you get started in boxing? Tell the boxing community about you.
Well, as a little kid, you know what I mean, just messing around out, playing around, and just fighting, doing a lot of fighting out in the streets, but not so much. But defending my family and my dad ended up seeing me fight, and he was like, "Man, we don't need to be out in the streets fighting. Let's take you to the gym." And I said, "Let's do it." So after that, I think I was around about 7 years old, 6, 7 years old, and he seen something in me. So it just took off from there. Went to Avenue D, Baden Street, and I stuck with Avenue D with Robert Johnson, my coach that passed away in 2015. Um, still heard about that, but we got to move on. It's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's talk about, you fought amateurs. Let's dive into your amateur background. You're pro now, but
Hmm.
you had a good amateur background, man. Talk a little bit about that.
Um, I won a lot of nationals, a lot of regionals. I won the silver gloves. I made it to the Olympic qualifiers. I fought Jose Ramirez. I fought I fought in the same weight class as Kenneth Sim Jr. Um, yeah, it was. I had a amazing amateur career. Amazing amateur career. I was 120 fights, 110 of those is by wins, 10 losses. Um, yeah,
So 10 losses over 100 and some fights, man. That's
yeah,
that's
yes,
that's simply amazing.
Yeah,
When did you? What age did you turn pro?
I turned pro. I think it was, I think I was 20. I was 20 years old when I turned pro. Fought here at in Rochester. At the Armory, we fought at the Armory. I got the first round knockout. For my debut, and yeah, it just went. Yeah,
So, at the age of 20, turning pro after having a good amateur career. Um, Let me tell you, man, guys like you that are dedicated to boxing and to make your life and
yeah.
commitment to boxing to chase a dream to become world champion. How many fights do you have now,
Mhm.
and what are some of your goals uh, that you want to accomplish in boxing?
Well, right now I have 13 fights. 10 and I'm 10-2 with one draw. My goals is to become a world champion in the next few years. You know what I mean? If I stick to the plan, and which I am going to stick to the plan, and we gonna be world champion. We going Rochester gonna have their second world champion.
Okay, well, hey, look, that's the goal. Now, what weight class do you feel that for right now? Are you in the weight class that you feel comfortable, or do you feel you can move up, move down? How do you feel about where you're at right now,
Right
leading
now,
into this fight?
I'm probably this fight I'm gonna be fighting probably at 147, but I'm probably gonna move down to 140. I think that's gonna be a comfortable weight for me to fight at, and I'm gonna just stick to that weight.
Well, 147 welterweight, and some people call it 140-pound your junior welterweight or
Yeah,
super lightweight, as
right.
some people call it. That's always been a real hot division
Mm-hmm.
in boxing, with 140 pounds with Armstrong coming and moving up to there, Ray Leonard,
You're right.
147 pounds, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran. Um, uh, the list is long, fine, but distinguished from Julio Cesar Chavez, Hector Camacho, Frankie Randall, Juan Martin Kogi, those great champions you know, that came before you.
All great.
How do you meet uh, what your style is right now? What
Mm-hmm.
kind of style can you tell the boxing community that you have? Or you're a boxer puncher, or you're a slugger, you're a counter puncher, or you do it all well, depend on the circumstance?
I think I'll do it all well. It depends on the circumstances, but I'm really like a boxer puncher. If you ask me, I like to use my jab. I like to move. You know what I mean. I don't like to stay there. Um, but like I said, it depends on the opponent. You know what I mean. I could adjust to whatever style he bring, whatever, however he comes. That I'm use that to my ability. But yeah,
Now,
I
eh,
say a boxer puncher though.
yeah, well, for the people just tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show this morning, Red Williams is fighting here. He's a rising star in boxing. He has over 100 and some amateur fights, and his conquest for greatness is going to be on display at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. And if you can't make it on the scene, you got to make it on the screen to watch him get down, because he can get down live on pay-per-view on Triller Television. Man, this is exciting, man.
Yeah,
At that. Well, how does it feel like to be fighting in front of your hometown crowd with a big major event like this, and they have all, it looks like it's going to be a sellout for right now. So, um, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it feels good though. You know what I mean? Like you said, 80% of the tickets has been sold, so it's gonna be a amazing crowd out there. A lot of family, friends, supporters. You know what I mean? It's gonna be in the crowd. So I'm just trying to go out there and put on a great performance on April 25th at the Blue Cross.
Yeah, Ben, we watched the press conference live when you had it at the Blue Cross Arena when y'all were there.
Yeah,
Savage Light Promotions and United and Healing with Hope, in the community. They're helping, set up to stop the violence,
yeah,
to keep people uh, on the right course in the community, to try to put, guns down and the peace figures up to stop the
yeah,
violence from killing people. Clay is doing a magnificent job. He has teamed up with the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame and with Larry Leotti and a lot of other community organizations to get this thing whopping and popping. And it looks like he's done a great job at that. How you feel about how the promotion's going and promoting you uh, uh, for this fight?
I mean, it's not just me. It's all even the amateurs. You know what I mean? We gotta give them credit. You know what I mean? They doing a magnificent job of promoting it. Every store that I go to it's a flyer up. You know what I mean? And they like, oh, you on you on that poster? Yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? I got other boxing brothers and you know what I mean the amateurs that's on there as well. So they promoting this very good.
Well, we want to say, Red Man, we're just excited, to have you on the World Boxing Review, because we deal with past, present, and future stars, and what perceives today's nobody turns into tomorrow's somebody, and the next thing you know, you're fighting on a major pay-per-view for millions and millions of dollars, and it all starts what you're doing now.
Right.
You take care of the little ones to get to the big ones, and it looks like what may perceive little, a little ain't so little in an 11,000 seat arena, man.
Right.
You're going big time in your weight class. Name some of the name fighters that you want to try to match your skills up down the road.
Down the road at 140, who is it? You got I think Richardson Richardson. I, f- I I forgot his name, but yeah. Um, you got a lot of fighters. I would go against anyone out there that's in my weight class. I don't really know who's all in, but we'll take them all. Down the road. Tio Lopez, if he want
And,
it, you know what I mean, anybody.
well, what you're saying is that they set them up, you'll knock them down. You don't
That's what
care who it is, you ready to go, man. You're a
I'm.
fighter's fighter, Red. You're there and up
Absolutely,
for the chance to fight, and I like that, man. Yeah, and
absolutely.
I was told you're always ready. You're always a telephone call away to put
Mm-hmm.
your skills in the ring, man. And that on a journey for greatness, that's what you have to do. You got to stay ready.
Just
And
gotta stay
we're
ready. Yep.
just a few weeks out, man. You're in training camp right now, to my understanding. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep. We like you said, we
Now,
2 weeks out. We looking sharp. You know what I mean? We feeling good. We right on weight. So it's pretty good. Strength and conditioning, all that.
I, well, how do you feel about the guy that you're fighting? And what's his name? And what kind of style does he have?
It's hard to pronounce his name. I think his name is like Royal or something like that.
Uh huh.
Royal. Well, um, his style when I seen him is he got a little jab, he got a little left uppercut, whatever. But that's nothing that we can't adjust to and handle. You know what I mean? We gonna go in there and do what we do, and that's get them up out of there.
Well, everybody that I heard says that this cat can fight, and what you said, all of that, what you said he can do, but they said that this is going to be a dynamite matchup for you. They said Red, he takes anybody. So they said this guy can go, but they said Red can go too, and Red going to take care of his business. So that's what we want. Hey, the boxing community, we want you to come out to the Blue Cross Arena and see Red get down. This ain't no opponent. This is the real deal, and Red knows it. He's willing to put it all on the line in his hometown of 11,000 screaming fans with Savage Life Promotion and United in Healing and Hope. And Red looked like he's ready to hope to heal and whoop some tail up there and tell him, brother, stop the gun violence and watch me do what we do, how we get paid
Absolutely,
to do what we do inside the ring, man. Yeah,
absolutely.
so these are community events that's going on, part of the promotions. What do you feel about all of that, and what have you been involved in so far in the community to help sell these tickets in the community? Y'all did a good job,
Yeah,
80%, man, almost a sellout.
absolutely. You know, we invite the kids to come up to my gym is at Future Boxing. We invite the kids to come up there and, you know what I mean, we will talk to them, you know what I mean, and tell them about this mega fight that's going to happen at the Blue Cross, you know what I mean, and just overall, yeah, just inviting the kids up, you know what I mean, speaking to them about the, you know, guns, guns, gloves up, guns down. You know what I mean? About the violence and stuff around the area. But it's like I said, it's gonna be a good night of boxing, April 25th.
Man, y'all are just um having, everybody's just excited to um to have this fight there, man. And we have Larry Leotti, president of the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, that we're going to add into the feed
How
here.
you doing, man?
Hey, how you
Um,
doing, man? You having a good time?
Yes, sir.
Good.
well, Larry, hey, look, man, we were talking about the promotion and what they're doing with it, and you have teamed up with Savage Life Promotion and United in Healing with Hope for April 25th at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. Uh, where does the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame stand with these guys on the card and in the promotion?
Well, Clay contacted me a couple months ago and said he had a vision, and I didn't know much about Clay, and then he kept calling me, and next you know I'm helping him out pass out flyers, and
Yeah,
and then
well, you're doing a heck of a job, because Red just said before you joined us is that everywhere you go, people's talking about him being on the posters in different places, stores and restaurants and around Rochester. So apparently, you're getting the posters out and the flyers out, and people are very lit. You got the buzz in the biz going on up there in Rochester about April 25th, Larry.
it's great, and I'm just excited about all the publicity everybody's getting. In Red, it's a pleasure being on the show with you. I watched you fight at the Frontier Field, and I
Yeah,
think you knocked the guy out in the first or second round from, I
yeah,
think it was from Texas or something.
yep,
And I went to 3 fights at the Armory and watched you fight there. The best fight, I don't remember the guy's name, but you fought a guy from Italy, and
yep,
man, nothing but guts and grits from you, man. You stuck through that fight, and you showed me something, because I mean,
yeah,
I think your eye was about this big after the fight,
yeah,
and you won that fight, and even my friends that were at the fight said, man, that kid's got something. So
yeah.
man, it's a privilege to be on the show with you. And man, I'm looking forward to the end of the month on the 25th and watching you fight again.
Absolutely. And I'm coming to put on another great performance. You know what I mean? Had to have everybody out there saying, "Oh, you remember that man, Red? Yeah." Co-main event, man.
What? Yeah, well, Red, they've been they call me up and says, "Man, you got to put Red Williams on the card. He's another dynamite fighter that you got to put him on the show to get some exposure."
Yeah,
Larry did, but
I
hey, look,
appreciate.
let's dive into this here. We got some fights over in England tonight with Tyson Fury fighting tonight. What do you feel about the fights over there? And uh, talk a little bit about that, Larry, if you want to dive into it, or Red.
Well, Tyson Fury's been, retired for a short period of time, and I think it's more like a ring rust thing. Just say let's see what he's still got, and
Yeah,
hopefully propel him towards another fight. I basically I think they got a guy in there to give him some rounds. I mean, hey, you never know about those kind of guys because they sometimes a guy you don't know very well can give you a hassle. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I see Tyson Fury ending it in the 6th or 7th round.
yeah. I'll say the same thing. I agree upon that too. But it's also
Six
you
or
got
seven rounds.
you also got Connor Ben and what's
Oh,
his name
pro grade.
Prograde. Yeah, that's gonna be a great
Yeah,
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
That's
that'll
definitely
be a dynamite fight.
yeah,
That'll be a really good fight.
they gonna bring it.
yeah. And
I think they're gonna put on a great boxing match.
well, how do you feel about Boots Ennis? Boots
Uh,
Ennis, the champion,
oh, I feel
his
like
up and coming fight.
he's a talented fighter.
Hmm.
Um, the
Yeah,
oh boy, with Zayas, I think if Zayas has a chance, if he just keep backing Boots up, you know what I mean. I think he got a chance if he keep backing him up, but I got Boots over Zayas though.
yeah. Zayas would, this is, anytime you have two championships, a champion's champion, and you really don't know how great champions are till they fight another great champion that pull out the greatness in either one of them. So
Right.
we're going to watch that tonight, I think,
Oh yeah.
with that. And
Yeah.
with Tyson Fury, if he's not ready, if he's been laughing and joking and clowning around, if he goes down, we're going to see. Um, you know, today's nobody's, tomorrow's somebody, and you got to be in front of somebody to make you somebody. And I think that's what's going to happen tonight. If Tyson Fury comes in ready, I agree with you. The fight should end in the middle rounds, probably 8, 9,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But if he ain't ready, it makes for a long night,
Long night. Yeah.
for guys when you're not ready, when you can't take care of your business,
Right.
because of you're not ready. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to ask y'all another question. How do y'all feel about uh, Mayweather? You know, trying to come back against Pacquiao for an exhibition fight, or
Yeah.
he's trying to do an exhibition with Mike Tyson. What's y'all viewpoint
I think
with on that?
with me with the Mike Tyson and Floyd, I really don't care for that. You know what I mean? I think it's just a money grab for me. But with the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, same thing. But I think it's Floyd's gonna come out victorious in that too. But I really don't
Hmm.
want the Mike. I didn't even want the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I didn't care for that one.
Yeah. Well, Dante Wilder last week, uh, he made a good show. It's his second win that he has in a row against Chesney with Derek. He won a unanimous decision, but it wasn't pretty. It wasn't colorful, but he got the win. What do y'all feel about the fight?
Well,
Dante Wilder fight.
I think it was a better fight than what I thought was going to be. I mean, no offense to Wilder, like I've said in the past, I've always loved Wilder. I think he's a good, was a good champion. I just, I've seen a lack of desire in him, and it seemed like he had more desire of this fight, and he pulled it out. He knocked him down 2 or 3 times. So I mean, I think he deserved to win, but it was a close fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight, and I think it puts Dante Wilder back in the position on the fight like Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. Those type of matchups that are big money draw. I guess Red Williams, he got disconnected somehow, and hope he logs back in and get back on the show. But we lost him. But yeah, those type of fights. He's coming back in on the stage here. Let's see here.
Okay.
As we had lost him, the stream went. Red Williams, there he goes. He's back on. We bring him back in. Yeah, well, Larry, you're right. Those things get set up to knock him down, and for big money fights, and I think that's the night Tyson Fury, though he gets set up for those type of fights with the Anthony Joshua, or maybe even a crazy rematch with a Dante Wilder. But after all of those fights have been exciting. But will people pay to watch that again for them guys on the big screen? Because Usyk, he's so much of a dominating force. Usyk is as a great cruiserweight champion, undisputed, and also undisputed heavyweight champion. Will people pay to see all of that over again with the young guys sitting out on the side that are the rising stars in boxing? Will one of them guys risk it all to give like Moses a chance, or them type of guys, these young guys, a chance at getting a big fight, a big name opportunity? How y'all feel about that?
Go ahead.
About the big name fights.
I think he's so I mean, Usyk's looking, I think Wilder's got a name. He hasn't beaten him, and he's somebody's good. One of those title holders are going to want to fight him because they know it's a money fight. And also, I think people look at him that Wilder's past his prime. I mean, but he still can hit. He still can knock you out. He hits hard, whether it be Joshua or Usyk.
You talking about Deontay Wilder?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Deontay Wilder and AJ should Anthony Joshua should definitely fight. I think with that one, I think Anthony Joshua would get him, in my opinion.
It makes for interesting conversation, is because after AJ got back on track with Jake Paul, a lot of people, he got a large amount of exposure all around the world with that circus.
Yeah.
We're going to see what the public demands and where will it go. But you're right. I think Dante Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight is a matchup that people will look forward to. Former heavyweight champions buying for greatness. I think it's a good matchup for a good run for one of those young guys. Now, which one of those young guys, I don't know, that are biting at the bit to be heavyweight champion. But when the dust settles, one of those young guys are going to have to get an opportunity at one of those five great champions that already had multiple belts.
And
But
you
today,
said
hey,
something about
for
Moses.
those, yeah, Moses is that he's the young guy we have mentioned. I guess you were off the stream.
Yeah,
Moses Tuma, he's just he's biting at the bit. He's biting, at a lot. He's a rising star. But
yeah,
I think Usyk is the man. If he can pull something off against Usyk, I don't know. Usyk is a guy that stays in shape. He makes adjustments. And with a young guy like that, he might have young strength and bronze, but he may not have the conditioning to keep up with Usyk's pace
right.
that Usyk sets. Usyk sets a hell of a pace for big guys, and going down the stretch, he really turns on his conditioning. That really how he's able to get a lot of those big guys and big championship fights. Conditioning's everything, man, and Usyk he's primed for that.
Right.
But we're here. We got for those tuning in, we have Red Williams who's fighting on the card April 25th at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. It's going to be live on pay-per-view Triller TV. And the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame President Larry Otti, that's on here talking about the boxing that's going to be at the Rochester, man. So, Reds, what do you, Clay, the promoter with Savage Life Promotions and United Healing with Hope, man. What do you feel about the promotional company? And once this dust is finished on April 25th, where you think where y'all can go from there?
I had I overheard, not overheard, but I heard it might be another, what I mean, something down the line in September. You know what I mean? So hopefully we make it happen again in September after this great performance that we're gonna put on April 25th.
Well, Larry, what do you think? To think a little ahead, without letting cats out of the bag or out of the box or out of, where do you think this stands?
Oh, as far as September, this is the first. So, like I said, I've just been trying to help out wherever I can. I love boxing, and I love the people that are involved in the sport more than boxing. I just love to interact. I love interacting like Red and, the people I've met over the years. It's a different kind of person that's involved in it, and anything I can do to help out. And that's just kind of my approach. I'm not privy to like the nuts and the bolts of what the whole setup is. I'm just here to help out. Anytime I can help out and get anybody over on a show or, get them anything just to help them or to get their name out there or get them anything. That's why I'm here. That's why I like working with the Hall of Fame, because anything I can do to help out we get these guys out there and get them something and get them, something that they deserve is what I'm about.
Yeah, well, the Hall of Fame is the final run for people with careers, but y'all do help rising stars out by giving them recognition. This year, you have some amateurs, I think, that are receiving awards. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah,
In
the amateur of the year is Javier Mitchell. He's fighting on the amateur side of the card, and we've already gave an award to Jiria Johnson. You were here for that, Aaron. And then the year before that,
Yeah,
Dustin Jimenez was the amateur of the year. So we're just going forward with the Rochester Amateur of the Year. And all three of them,
yeah.
well,
Hey, look,
hopefully all three of them will be fighting on the card. Dustin's right now, he's in Finland, so who knows if he's going to be back in town in time for be on the card. But it's awesome that our fighters are getting out there and they're representing the city of Rochester.
Absolutely.
Hey, Red, there's a lot of people fighting on the card. Dustin, I know you know Dustin. You want to talk about some of the people that are fighting on the card with you that are on the undercard?
Yeah, absolutely. We got Brandon Williams, eyes wide, one of my brothers. We got Chi Harvey Murray, Charles Murray brother. We got Hammer, Aleem Whitfield. We got Javi. We got Dustin. We got it's a lot of talented fighters on that card, amateur and pros. So,
So
and
this pro am is
shout out
going.
to all of them too.
Yeah, this amateur
We got
program is going to be.
Messiah Miles too.
Who do you have on there?
Messiah
Oh
Miles,
yeah.
and it's plenty more. We
Oh,
got a stack of fighters on that card, man. It's gonna be a
well, they
great
keep
night of
adding
boxing.
names, man. Every time I do a show with somebody that's fighting on the card, it seems like they add two or three names. Larry, do you know probably where the card stands right now? How many people on the card, Larry?
I've actually never sat down and tried to figure it out. I've been
Yeah,
there's a lot of people on the card. I
it's a
know
lot.
they're
What?
actually going to start at 2 p.m. to get all the amateurs in that want to fight there. It just keeps growing and the time keeps extending.
Well, we're going to have to get Clay back on the show because Clay, when he first announced, we were the first ones he announced the show with before
Yeah.
the press conference. So, we got to bring Clay back on because, he got to update us, man. He keeps growing and growing and adding and adding. We might have 24 hours of boxing at the Blue Cross Arena,
Yeah,
man.
for real.
Those who have love boxing, man, you bring your chair back, you sit back, get a beer or something in the arena, and you can watch boxing all night long, man. And that'll keep the people, that'll stop the violence, it'll keep people off the street. Maybe he's going 24 hours with this thing, Larry and Red.
I don't know what he's doing.
Hey, man, once you. we sit back and watch boxing 24 hours, Red. You may be able to climb in there, fight, knock your guy out, and sit back and watch fights all night after you done fought. Wouldn't that be something?
Right.
Well,
A lot of fighters.
a lot of fighters. And discombobulated Jones, who's the ring announcer, who has gotten a key from the city from the mayor of Rochester. How did he have his event yet to look for that ring announcer that wins to announce one of the fights? Larry, do you know of?
No, it's Wednesday and Thursday of fight week.
It's Wednesday or Thursday of fight week. That's when that
Yes.
special event happens.
Yep,
Okay,
he's gonna pick somebody to sing the anthem, and he's hoping for a young ring announcer, and it's gonna be a pilot for hopefully an upcoming show. That's what he told me.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, okay. Discombobulated Jones. Yeah.
It's gonna be a major, big event, man. Big boxing event right here.
And we want to give Khalila Camacho Ali, Muhammad Ali's former wife, who's going to be in attendance up there. She's out pounding the pavement about the Muhammad Ali Act and how they're trying to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act. And her and her grandchildren and all of them are pounding the pavement, man. You can't get rid of this act. This protects fighters and it helps fighters where they're not being taken advantage of. She's going to be in Rochester, New York, signing autographs and help with the promotion up there. She's been up there quite a few times. She's been at the baseball stadium with the baseball owner up there. Is that right, Larry?
Yeah. She's was up here at the baseball stadium. Yep, she threw out the first pitch.
Yeah,
So
and what's the
she came
owner
to
of
my
the Reds name? What's
Naomi Silver.
what's the Yeah, Naomi Silver. She was guest of hers in the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. Larry, you was right there, and let me tell you about throwing out that first pitch. Not everybody gets the opportunity, Larry, to throw out that first pitch in the baseball stadium, and when you're able to do that, that's a big thing, man. To throw out a first pitch at one of those big stadium baseball places. And Khalil Camacho Ali, she was up there. She threw out the first pitch, and them ladies, it was some type of Woman's Day or something like that. But them women up there at that, man, would help propel this event to keep boxing in the community, don't you think, Larry?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was a Women's Day in sports because Naomi, I forgot what they told the guy that I know that told me. I think there's only something like 4 or 5 professional owners of sports in the United States that are women. So she's one of the few that actually owns a franchise. So it was in celebration of women's sports, and they honored her and um, the lady from League of Their Own on the League of Their Own team was there, Blair. All the way. That's it. All the way Meg
Yeah,
is what they
yeah,
called her in the movie. But
yeah.
yeah,
That
it was a good
HBO
event.
film.
Yep.
You know, you mentioned her. My son was inducted into the Ohio Baseball Hall of Fame with her
Oh wow.
uh, as being a scholar athlete at the University of Cincinnati playing baseball. So, as a scholar athlete, the Hall of Fame, like you do, recognizes young talent. And because he was a scholar athlete and playing baseball, and his batting average was something like 400, being a scholar athlete, he would he received the Moses Fleetwood Walker Award, uh, who was the first African American baseball player. He received that award and was inducted into the Ohio Baseball Hall of Fame with her.
Oh wow.
So that's how I got a chance to meet her. Yeah, she's exciting to have her up there. A League of Their Own, that HBO special on television, and Khalil Camacho Ali, Muhammad Ali's wife, was there, and she's going to be at this great event at the Blue Cross Arena, signing autographs, shaking hands, laughing, storytelling. Boy, does she know how to do it, man! Her and the greatest of all times, Muhammad Ali. Boy, do they know how to do it.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and
so,
Aaron, you're
so,
gonna be
Red.
there with the Jack Johnson exhibit. You gotta keep talking. You gotta talk about the Jack Johnson
Yeah.
exhibit.
Well, let me tell you, the mayor of Rochester loves the Jack Johnson exhibit. When he was at the Hall of Fame, the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, he came over to the exhibit and looked at it. And he let me go through the whole spiel of the Jack Johnson exhibit, the first African American heavyweight champion of the world, all that he did in boxing, and how he helped tear down the color line that was in boxing, and how he invented a wrench, the pardon from Donald Trump that he received in 2019. All of that's part of the exhibit, and how he was a race car driver, one of the first African American race car drivers. But the mayor of Rochester really loved it. He got to put the wrench, the monkey wrench, as it's called, as a derogatory thing. He held that. He held a pair of Jack Johnson's trunks, and he looked through the records that we have of the FBI files, that how the FBI chased Jack Johnson all around the world. He looked at those papers and those files that we have part of the exhibit. And boy, does that Rochester mayor know boxing. The speech he gave that night after looking at the exhibit, he ran down boxing history from way back as it started in England and it merged into America with John L. Sullivan being the first heavyweight champion, with Jack Johnson being the first African American heavyweight champion. The Rochester mayor, Malik Evans, he knows boxing. He loves boxing, and boy, does he show up for boxing! And he shows up in grand style and grand fashion when he comes. He comes out handing out awards, and he gave somebody else, not only the ring announcer Jones, a key to the city, but he gave a boxer a key to the city at the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. Larry, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, through the years, I've become to know Mayor Evans a little bit. I started talking to him about 5 years ago about coming to our event, and I sent him an email saying, hey, it'd be nice if the city of Rochester would recognize Charles, because this was last year, going into Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. I don't know if there's anything you guys can do to recognize him. And they sent me an email back, and they said, hey, is Charles coming to the banquet this year? And I said, oh yeah, Charles always comes to the banquet. And they said, okay, well, keep it quiet because we don't want it to get out, but we're going to give Charles a key to the city at the banquet. So I did that, and it was a surprise to everybody. It was only me and a handful of people that knew Charles was getting the key. And it came across really well, and I'm glad that Charles finally got the recognition that he deserved as being a key to the city holder for Rochester.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, you need support of the city officials, and in a big event like this. And we can see when the city supports efforts, and teamwork makes the dream work. And it gives young men like Red Williams that we have on the show the opportunity to display his talent amongst the people. How do you feel about that, Red, that a mayor of a great city of Rochester supporting this effort, man, and you're fighting on the card? How do you feel about that, Red?
Well, I feel like I feel he I feel good about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's really trying to showcase us and being involved with this event, and like you say, he knows his history about boxing and all that, so he must love the sport of boxing. So I feel good about it.
Well, Mayor Evans, he does a lot of community stuff all over the city to try to help the youth stay involved, trying to stop the violence and all of that. But he knows from the history of boxing is that boxing changes people's lives.
Absolutely.
And boxing, you can be brought up in the poorest of circumstances and get your name known in all the nooks and cranny on the planet. And it changes your life, and it changes your lifestyle, and boxers' legendary status lives on from the day on to yesterday. And you're going to find, Red, by fighting in this big arena for this big event and this electrifying audience that's going to be there, is that your name now is going to be larger than it was before in Rochester's boxing history, is because you have all the components. You have yourself. You have a big arena. You have a good fighter that you're fighting. You're on a major card where you have a lot of Rochester's boxing personalities on the card, and the mayor is supporting it with his effort. And you have city council and supporting that, and you have county officials supporting it that were there, that came to the press conference. What's her name? Sims?
Mercedes.
Yeah, Mercedes. Mercedes, who is a council person, she came out strong, came to the press conference, was there taking photos with all of y'all guys. It
Right.
shows that the support is there. Y'all have the right opponent, man. And Red Williams, all you got to do, what everybody says that you can do, you set them up and let Red knock them down, baby. They said you're the best at it. Um, when they talk about bullets and gun smoke, they say you got bullets and gun smoke in both of them hands. You can match skills with the best of them, Reds, man. How do you feel about the 25th there? And I'm going to keep asking you because I'm going to see if you change your mind in the course. But how do you feel about this, Red?
It's gonna be a tremendous fight. I mean, just the honor to be on this card with the talented fighters that is gonna be on here with me. You know what I mean? We all gonna show out. We all working, putting in the work to put on a great performance for our families and fans and friends and stuff like that. So April 25th is nothing gonna be but fireworks in that building, and they gonna light off right after too.
You can bet. Hey, what you say? It's going to be better than the 4th of July come April
It's gonna be better than the
25th.
4th of
And
July.
it's gonna be fireworks in the man. Oh man, Red! I can't wait to witness this great event. To see you young, talented guys that are rising stars in the game of boxing, and Rochester gets to see their hometown great fighters that are in this era on one dynamite card, man. From amateur to the top professionals, man. Y'all, man, Larry, I was telling the fans earlier, 11,000 seats, and it looks like it's 80%. It looks like it's headed for a sellout. It looks like it's going to be a great walk-up crowd. Is that what you're hearing, Larry?
Yeah, I think the buzz is out there, and I hope it's a sellout. It'd be a good sign for Red and all those guys that have busted their butt over the last 20 years to keep boxing alive in Rochester. And I just think it's heading in the right direction for a sellout.
Right.
Man, 80%, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of tickets, man. That at 80%, you're still talking about in the thousands, man.
Oh,
Yeah, look, when you go into the big arenas, you're at ringside, and you look up. You said, "Man, there's a lot of people sitting up there."
Yeah.
Red, you gonna look up? Wow, there's a lot of people sitting up there, man. They gonna watch you get down, Red. They gonna watch them fireworks you're talking about.
Those are some fireworks I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, to be honest with you, when Clay told me that they had the War Memorial, I said, well, Turning Stone does about 4,500, and they don't usually sell out, and they have title fights in ESPN. So I said, or Premier or whoever's in town for that, that arena. And he said, no, we're going to sell out. And I was like, well, Red, Clay, if you sell out the floor seats and this and that, that's still a good accomplishment. He goes, nope, we're selling out. And you know what? He's done more than sales could have handled at Turning Stone at this point. And it's just cruising on. And Derek, too. Derek is the promoter. He's doing all the fight stuff and putting the cards together and making all those contacts. So, Derek Grambling definitely gets a shout out, too. We talk about Clay because that's the guy I mostly deal with is Clay. But, Derek has done one heck of a job putting these cards together and making it work as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know how it is when things are going well. Everybody wants to be a promoter and say that they're the promoter of the event. But, one thing I can say about Clay, he came on the World Boxing Review, and before he even sent it to the press, he gave it to the past, the present, and Clay's a future star when it comes to boxing promotions, to put all of these young, talented guys on one show, one event. for the city, man. Clay put his money where his mouth is, and he put the fighters where they're supposed to be, and that is center stage at a big time arena that's been revitalized. And man, just the new smell in the building is going to make Red Williams do the fireworks, baby. Hey, Red, what you think, man? In closing, let's end this thing so you can. I know you're in training camp, and thank you for on a Saturday for taking the time out of your training rest and all of that to come on the World Boxing Review. Give it to us what you want to close with.
I just want to thank y'all, Aaron and Larry. You know what I mean? Shout out to Derek and Clay also for making this happen. It was one of my dreams as a little kid, like I said earlier. You know what I mean? And it came to reality. You know what I mean? So to the kids out there, never stop dreaming. You know what I mean? Keep set a goal and go for it. You know what I mean? Everything's gonna go your way. Never quit. And shout out to Future Boxing. Shout out to the Hall of Fame, Aaron again. My family, my supporters, my loved ones out there. Shout out to y'all. And April 25th.
Man, what you just said, Red Williams, man, you done said a mouthful, because Savage Boxing Promotion and United Healing with Hope, and they done fulfill your hopes and dreams, and all you have to do is just go in there and show them what you've been dreaming about on April 25th at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. The show starts at 4 a.m. and I think they said 12 a.m. that they're looking to end it, but I think it's going to go to 25th and to 26, as many fights as y'all got on that card. It's going to be all night long, baby. Fireworks in the house. Fireworks. What do you think, Larry?
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I can't wait to sit there and watch you fight, Red. It's always a privilege. And I'm just you always put on one heck of a show, and I always look forward to your fights. Anyone I can watch, I've watched, and I'm looking forward to you putting on a great show for everybody.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man.
Well, hey, look, man, we'd like to thank both of y'all for coming on the World Boxing Review radio show. I know, from time to time in the stream we have little hiccups, but this morning was a good morning to have you on, Red. And you can come on anytime. You get something you want to promote, something that you're doing, just give me a call, and we'll get you on the show at any time. And Larry, as always, man, thank you for coming on the World Boxing Review radio show. You're becoming a regular, along with Mark Irwin, who does profiles. So we got to get Mark on here at some point, sometime, and let him profile all y'all guys on the show. So we might have to do a 3-hour show instead of a 1-hour show. But boy, does an hour go by fast when you're having fun and talking about boxing and talking about what you're doing. So again, thank you for tuning in to World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snowell. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions as we travel the world for past, present, and future stars. Thanks, fellas. We appreciate you. You're welcome.
April 25th. Get the tickets.
Get the tickets. Yeah, there you go.